to you by PDC Europe, and we welcome our viewers joining us live on livepdc.tv. Yes, indeed, it's time now to meet our players. Please welcome from Tenerife, the Spartan, Cristo Reyes. And now, ladies and gentlemen, all the way from Australia, it's time to meet the wizard, Simon.
The number ones from Australia and Spain clashing in the third round of the Austrian Darts Open here in Vienna for a place in the quarterfinals of the latest European Tour event of the year. And Cristo Reyes, by virtue of his victory yesterday and reaching this stage of the tournament, is up to number 28 in the world and has become the highest ranked player in PDC darts yet to claim a title. Does he put that right today here at the Multiversum in Vienna? If he is going to do that, he's got to see off Simon Whitlock, then he's got to beat Daryl Gurney, then either Michael van Gerwen or Martin Schindler, and then somebody else. I mean, it sounds pretty simple when you say it, but it isn't, is it? However, having made the semi-finals very recently in the Players' Championship series of events, doing so in Barnsley,
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
it could happen.
Game on.
Rob Malarkey with me, Dan Dawson in the commentary box, and Cristo Reyes has the throw in this one.
Yeah, Cristo Reyes in a very, very good place right now after that fine run to his first European Tour semi-final in Hamburg just a couple of weeks ago.
97.
Recording notably that first ever win over Peter Wright in the process as well in the last 16. After Snakebite had missed 2 match starts.
81.
Reyes looking for another last 16 victory that would take him through to another Euro Tour quarter-final. And a meeting with Daryl Gurney. This is the final match in the top half of the section of the draw.
99.
Van Gerwen against Schindler. Gurney awaiting the winner of this one. And then after this one, we focus on the bottom half of the draw. And another massive opportunity for Kim Viljonen and Chris Dobie, who meet in the next match. But here and now, it's the number 4 seed, Simon Whitlock, and the number 13 seed, Cristo Reyes.
Well, I was certainly concerned about whether Simon Whitlock's wrist would hold up. He was told that it would take 6 weeks to fully recover. Last time out in Hamburg, he had gaffer tape on it, and when I spoke to him before his game yesterday, he said the doctors told him 6 weeks, and we're 5 weeks into that, so it's not 100%. And yet, he still saw off Vincent van der Voort with no bother at all.
Yeah.
6-1. Although, to be fair, it was some sort of like injury top trumps in that Whitlock may have been struggling, but Vincent van der Voort, his back problems gave him all kinds of chip.
Gave George Noble all kinds of chip as well, because he had to pick his darts up 3 times.
Yeah, make him earn his money.
Yeah, he averaged just under 88 yesterday, Simon Whitlock, in that win over van der Voort. There was an eye-catching checkout of 1-2-4 on the way as well. Reyes opened his campaign with another nervy victory. He does have a tendency to do this from time to time. Let's just see if he can finish this one off.
93.
There he comes. 6-5 against Idams yesterday, averaging 97 and a bit.
But to be fair, though, Rennie Idam played really well. I mean, he only missed 1 dart double in the whole game. But Reyes still managed to see him off in that deciding leg as Whitlock looks at double 10 now. And he didn't move back to the centre of the hockey there, having moved over to the left. And usually Simon Whitlock will try and re-centre himself there, but maybe he's paid the price.
Echoes of Jamie Bain, who we
the first leg,
talked about earlier, did the same thing. Anyway, Reyes gets the first leg on the board. Yeah, he had a 6-5 win over Nathan Aspinall as well in Hamburg. But then having come through that particular scare, having survived that particular scare, of course, the rest was history. So maybe it's just what Cristo Reyes needed, perhaps. Obviously, wouldn't want to be put through the ringer every round, but
81.
Sometimes we see that a player has a noticeable match where they are given a bit of a rough ride, come through it, and then go on a really good run.
I was astonished to see that these two had not come across each other in PDC darts until today.
Yeah, I got an inkling of that. I was chatting to Reyes is representative from Bulls, and he said, I'm pretty sure these two have never met. And I thought, really?
Yeah. Really?
Really? So went away, did the checks, and yeah, you're absolutely right.
What? Is he looking at another bull? No.
88.
Curious decision just to go that route anyway from Whitlock, but he does do strange things in terms of his routes and methods. He's a very good counter, Simon Whitlock. He just has his own way of going about things.
58.
Just the 58. If Reyes can find a ton 40 here, Whitlock is put under pressure. Desperate for another trouble.
100.
Doesn't get it.
126.
Oh,
Beautiful.
Absolutely perfect. Double six.
140. The rest of you require
Then again.
160.
What price Reyes here? Well, no price at all, mate.
140. Simon, you require 12.
Double 4 for Reyes in the first leg, double 6 for Whitlock in this one. Double 3 then. Double 3, Simon.
6.
Oh.
The rest of you require 20.
Now, for 2-0, Cristo Reyes. The Spaniard pins double 10. 2-0 with a breaker throw.
Cristo throw first. Game on.
Just while we're on the subject of double 3, did you see Van Gerwen earlier? I don't know if you missed it or not.
No,
double 1, double 3. Have you ever seen that before?
Only way to go. Only way to go.
57.
It was absolutely close.
Well, you will double 1, Michael Van Gerwen. You go whatever way you want. Who's going to tell you otherwise?
125.
Well, Reyes' last 2 European Tour events have been ended by Mensur Suljovic. If that happens again this weekend, it will be in the final. Just something to think about there.
Yeah, but look at this. Cristo is seeded 13th here. There's Whitlock.
140.
Quite filling it up. So he's managed to avoid playing Peter Wright or Michael Van Gerwen at this third round stage, which is basically what Cristo has made a career of doing.
140.
And he's gone very, very close against the pair of them, but he keeps losing to them. He did get that first career win over Peter Wright
140.
last time out. And of course, Peter Wright dumped out last night sensationally by Kim Viljonen.
57.
Back on stage
Simon, you
next.
require 96.
Yeah, twice this year. He's lost to Van Gerwen in the European Tour. Twice he's lost to Suljovic. Once to Peter Wright as well. Whitlock here.
60.
Well, he will be back with Reyes on 187, so no particular damage done there. Well, the only damage done was to his averages, but he won't care about that as long as he gets
99. Simon, you require
the leg on the board here.
56.
Well, he has been missing doubles, Whitlock. Continues to miss them. But hits that.
Simon Whitlock.
In a sort of half-hearted, sarcastic celebration from the Aussie, who breaks straight back. 2-1, throwing a level the match now.
If you're joining us for the first time this weekend, by the way, we had the Whitlock beard chat yesterday. I don't think we need to revisit that this afternoon, do we?
It's not
59.
We are
quite.
inadvertently now.
Yeah. I mean, it's not quite as pronounced as it was. Last night, it was toozled up so tightly that it literally
137.
stuck out. It was like a blind man's walking stick. He
It's
was
a bit frayed today.
yeah, bit limp.
Yeah.
Bit limp.
Maybe the heat.
140.
Maybe he's just not taking enough time winding it up. Still not sure it's a wise look.
100.
Nothing wrong with that though. 180 for Cristo Reyes.
Yeah, crisscrossing their way into the treble 20s there.
92.
One of our Dutch production crew has just brought over a piece of paper. I'm going to leave that to Dan Dawson. I'm not getting involved in this anymore. With a message scribbled out for us.
96.
Well, it was in reference to Simon Whitlock and his beard, and the only word that was written on that bit of paper
58. The rest of you require
Was-
88.
cat weasel. Reyes. Misses double seven. Whitlock looking at one of those big trademark combination finishers. And even though Whitlock does go his various different routes for things. Oh, hang on, where is he looking? He went the 19s. I mean, you would have thought 2 treble 20s, double 16 would have been the obvious route, but, you know,
79.
Whitlock, 2 treble 19s for double 19. I mean,
well, there is a logic in that while you're on the 19s, you might as well stay there, but yeah.
There is, but ultimately,
it's a remote logic.
Reyes does take out the 7 on double 2, and he restores that 2-leg advantage. It is a 3rd consecutive break of throw, and it is the man from Spain who's having the better of things here, looking to make the final session of action on the European Tour for a 2nd tournament running, having never done it before. Maybe Cristo Reyes has broken through that glass ceiling that was holding him back so often. And often it was because of his seeding, being 15 and 16, always running into the world number 1 or world number 3, or sometimes Menzel Suljevic. And he kept losing at this stage of the tournament. But having finally got past that stage and moved up in the seedings as a result, well, maybe he has found a way of breaking through.
Yeah, and he's made, we mentioned, a couple of quarterfinals on the Pro Tour this year, one in the UK Open qualifiers, one on the Players' Championship scene, although that was in the very first one of the year. Made a semi-final on the Players' Championship circuit last year. That was his first semi-final in a ranking event. He now has 2, of course.
92.
Yeah, it's been constant, steady progression for Cristo. It was all, you know, he started off making last 32s, and then it was last 16s, then it was quarterfinals, and now he's had a couple of semi-finals. And look, he's only going one way, and it's up. This boy can play serious darts.
So can Simon Whitlock.
136.
Now then, huge moment in this game. Shanghai finish for Cristo Reyes, and it's 4-1.
Otherwise, it's a break of throw for Whitlock, and it's 3-2. And Whitlock will be back.
60. Simon, you require 40.
And he's looking at tops to trim the deficit to 3-2. Simon Whitlock does break back.
Nobody can hold their throw in this one. Cristo Reyes managed it in the first leg. But since then, it's been 4 consecutive breaks of throw. Come on, he says to himself. Vamos, Cristo. Oh, the Icelandic chant. And it inspires Whitlock to produce his first maximum. It's the first time we've seen the old Icelandic chant this weekend. I thought they'd forgotten about that one.
100.
And just for good measure, there's another one. They obviously felt he'd been a bit short-changed down, so they're duly obliging for you.
100.
Hope he saves him for Kim Viljanen, by the way. I know he's from Finland, but it's as close to Iceland as we're going to get this weekend.
I don't think there is a Finnish chant.
No, Lordy. There must be a Lordy style.
140.
Whitlock looking to hold throw for the very first time in this match, and if he does so, we've got a level game at 3 apiece.
121.
Now, knocks off 121 to leave a 2-darter for a potentially 11-dart leg. Cristo's not going to do anything to really worry him.
30.
Very little. Very little indeed. So, trailed 3-1. This to get back level at 3 apiece. Oh, beautiful. Double 10. Taking a moment here, Simon Whitlock, 4 double 10. It's a decision that pays dividends because he takes it out with the first dart in hand, and we are level at 3 apiece here. And there we see an improvement in the darts per leg.
100.
Dan Dawson does further investigation into Cat Weasel. Simon Whitlock is struggling
59.
for trouble here. 59 to open things up in this 7th leg.
Well, it's all good-looking stuff there, isn't it?
34.
That's 4 legs, 14, 14, 13, 12. Whitlock's won 3 out of the 4 of them. But Reyes still holds the narrowest advantages, having the throw in the very first leg. And if he can defend that throw, if he can keep holding his throw, he knows that's enough.
140.
I know before this started, you thought this would be a tight game at 10, maybe 11 legs.
I went 6-4 Reyes. Still sticking with that.
44.
Neither player produced a 12-dart leg yesterday, by the way, so that was the first of the weekend for either of these two from Whitlock. But yeah, there has been this leg-on-leg improvement steadily throughout this one now. Obviously, that will plateau sooner or later.
58.
Could well plateau here as well.
36.
Well, double 18, he's got 3 darts for. In fact, he's not got 3 darts for. He's got at least 6. I mean, it could be 9. He only needs 1. 13 darter, 4-3, Cristo Reyes.
Yeah, just keeping Whitlock at bay there, stopping him in his tracks after that build-up of Australian momentum.
Well, if he keeps running legs like that in his own throw, Cristo Reyes, Whitlock is going to need 12 darters.
And in fact, he's only had 1 all weekend.
Well, he may only need 1 more, just 1 breaker throw, that's all he needs. But he has to hold his throw as well. But there's been nothing to suggest that Simon Whitlock is feeling any ill effects from that wrist injury that he's been suffering for the last few weeks. And irrespective of whether he comes through this high quality and really entertaining battle with Cristo Reyes here, it looks as if there's going to be no lasting problems for Whitlock. He's played very well this weekend.
37.
These guys both averaging 96. Well, in fact, Whitlock's up to nearly 98 now.
57. Simon, you require 142.
Well, it's a vast improvement on his performance in Hamburg when he was beaten 6-1 by Andy Hamilton.
Yeah, he was obviously struggling there, wasn't he? When he
90.
And looking to set up another meeting with Daryl Gurney. They met in Gibraltar in the 3rd round.
Yeah,
Gurney coming through that one. It was a classic en route to the semi-finals. But Reyes
125. Simon, you require
in the ascendancy here at the moment, 4-3, although Whitlock looking to level things up once again with double 16.
Game shot on the 8th.
And the finishing continues to improve here. And 4 from 13 for Simon Whitlock.
Yeah, yet another leg of darts in fewer than 15 darts. Really, really good stuff from me. Look at that. Look at it. 14, 14, 13, 12, 13, 14. This is neat and tidy stuff. Clinical finishing. Both men scoring not enormously, but well. Look at that. 19 130 plus scores. 19 visits with 2 trebles between the pair of them. Couple of 180s. Very, very solid stuff. What you expect on the European Tour on the final day of action is what you have to produce if you're going to give yourself a chance of going on and claiming a title. It's something Simon Whitlock has done, of course, on the European Tour, something that Cristo Reyes is hoping to do, and that 140 vital for Reyes.
Scoring consistently well as well. Both averaging very healthy tallies at the moment.
91. Rest you require 122.
First dart average, second dart average, third dart average. Very, very similar indeed. 104 away then. Ooh, close. That would have left the bullseye.
54.
It may be a big checkout like this that turns this game. And Whitlock, for so long, was the best player in the world at these kinds of checkouts. But the 136 isn't going to happen, and Cristo Reyes is left with 68.
60.
Could get 2 darts at double, should get at least 1. It is only 1. And 1 is all he needs. 5-4, Cristo Reyes.
Settling it, Simon to throw first. Game on.
Nerveless.
Reyes finishing today has been pretty good
85.
indeed. 5 from 8. Averaging about 96 at the moment as well, consistently scoring well on the averages.
96.
1 leg away now.
Well, Daryl Gurney hit 6 out of 8 in his 6-3 win over Benito van der Pas. Really good finishing from Super Chin. We're seeing similar stuff from Cristo Reyes here, and it might well be enough to get him over the line. One leg away from a place in the quarterfinals, a second consecutive appearance in the final day of action on the European Tour, having never done it before ahead of Hamburg last time out.
Yeah, broken through that glass ceiling potentially now here.
And whisper it, but Daryl Gurney averaged 98.5. Cristo Reyes is currently averaging 96.5, 97. They're both higher than what Michael van Gerwen's average this weekend.
Yeah, Van Gerwen, you know, at times.
So that is a vital maximum for Simon Whitlock. He's only hit 2 in this game, but that may be the most important one he hits all weekend, because it has given him a great chance of holding throw and taking us all the way to a deciding leg.
Not there yet. But he's there now. And a bit of a snarl from Simon Whitlock as he turns to the crowd and acknowledges the applause that comes his way.
5-5. Reyes with the throw. Look at that. The first 2 legs won by Cristo Reyes. Did take 6 visits, but everything else has been 5 visits, apart from that 6th leg where Whitlock threw in a 12-darter. He may need to throw in another 12-darter in this last leg here.
85.
And that loose dart into the 5 makes things harder for the Wizard. Fantastic stuff, this. Gripping.
Yeah, really high-quality encounter to continue the action here in Vienna. Just the 60, though, from Reyes, so a ton 40 here from Whitlock will make things very interesting indeed. That's not in. I think some of the crowd thought that was in, but it's not. And it's only 99. Not enough to win over the darts just yet. Reyes still, you feel, in control here, especially if he fills it up. Especially if he fills it up. What a time to pull a 180 out of the bag.
Whitlock produced one really at a crucial moment in that last leg. It has helped him take us all the way to a decider. But Cristo Reyes fires in his second 180 in the match, and it gives him 6 darts from 1-2-1 to win his first ever encounter with Simon Whitlock in professional darts, but more importantly, book his place in the quarterfinals. Needed that treble for a dart at the double in this visit.
65.
But he will get at least, well, you would think he should get 2 match darts.
Can Whitlock make things interesting again? Yes, he can. That's the answer to that particular question. Cristo Reyes had just better watch his step here. Can't afford to miss the big number first of all. And he's now looking at double 18. That's a long way off the mark. But that is much closer. And you hear the booming shouts of Cristo Reyes as he celebrates his passage into another European Tour quarter-final. There is no stopping the Spartan at the moment. And Cristo Reyes, who continues his climb up the order of merit, continues to impress on the European Tour as well. A much improved performance from Simon Whitlock this weekend, but it's not enough to get him past Cristo Reyes. And Reyes can now look forward to another quarter-final on the European Tour. This time, it's against Daryl Gurney, and that should be an absolute belter if their recent encounter in Gibraltar is anything to go by. Stay with us here on PDC.tv. Our 5th match of the afternoon session will follow a slight break. On the way, though, we have 2 more surprise packages for the weekend. Chris Dobey and the Finnish qualifier, Kim Viljanen.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, it will be a